I've been posting a pretty consistent theme on my social media platforms, specifically, let's say Facebook. Facebook is like that's my, I guess, my flagship social media platform. And I basically, I guess you could say I built my business on Facebook. So it's treated me very well. And I know there's a lot of people that love Facebook, and there's a lot of people that don't love Facebook, but Facebook has treated me really well. So if you ever want to see, and I post daily musings, I don't know, sometimes 3, 4, sometimes even more than that, daily musings on Facebook. Sometimes I go quiet for a couple of days. If I don't have anything to say, then I don't say anything. But uh, if you want to follow along with my daily musings, go to Facebook, find my profile, follow me, and jam with me and interact with me. I'd love it if you interacted with me. And what the point that I was alluding to at the beginning was lately across my platforms, I've been posting pretty regularly about a new world and a new, I guess, ecosystem that's forming in this world, and a new wave, a new culture that's taken root. You can call it a new epoch, or a new, just the next chapter in humanity. And it's not political. What I'm about to say and what I'm about to talk about is not political in the least, although politics is definitely playing into it. But it's not political at all. So we're not going to talk about that here. But there's a new wave of what success looks like that I'm running into on a daily basis, that I'm having more and more conversations about on a daily basis. And there's like this tip of spear, I guess, group of people spread around the world, not in in any, I guess, locale, but there's people that are opening their eyes and they're seeing success differently than they've ever seen it before. And also, there are people that still see success in the same way. So this isn't across everybody, but there are a group of, let's say, spiritual warriors that are opening their eyes and they're seeing life differently, and they're defining success for themselves much differently than ever before, and much differently than most folks living right now. Now, you're still going to see in the world, when I go through what this looks like, and I've got a couple things that I want to share about what, how you can tell if you're on the new success side or the old success side, or in somewhere in the continuum. But there's still people that wake up every single day, they go to work, or they go into the office, or maybe they're building their business. They're looking to achieve their goals. They're looking to accomplish their goals. They're looking to accumulate. They're looking to buy nicer things. They're looking to stack cash. They're looking to go on, vacations and buy fine things. And there's nothing wrong with any of this, but they do this all the way up until they die. And that is what they're after, and that's the definition of success in their mind, is to live a material, wealthy lifestyle. And I love money. I love materials. I love being surrounded by nice things. I love living in a nice home. I love driving nice cars. I love going on great vacations, and I love having cash. But the point is for some people, that is what life is about. And it's about the next goal, the next accomplishment, and the next comma to add to the bank account. There's nothing wrong with this, and I'm not being critical of it. But for some people, that is the definition of success. But there's so many people breaking out of that as the sole definition of success. And I guess back in 2017, when I started my business, I was riding the leading edge of this because I had tapped into something, and I'd found something that was missing my whole life. And I started sharing it with other people, really not knowing what I was doing. I was just sharing what felt good. I was sharing what felt natural. And what I realize now is I was evolving into a spiritual leader in this whole new wave of what success looks like and how it's being redefined. And, 7 years later, after I started, or now 8 years later after I started my business, when I'm working with a new client, they're not just after wealth and success. In a lot of cases, they already have the wealth and success, but they're still seeing that something's missing. And what I'm saying is they're waking up to a whole different definition of success. They have the worldly success, but they're looking for spiritual success. They're looking for a depth and an understanding of themselves and life, and how to navigate themselves and life, and how to master themselves, and how to flow easier and flow more effortless with life, and allow life to pour into them instead of them attacking life and almost like facing life like it's hand-to-hand combat. And we're graduating. We have been over the past, decades, over the last century and a quarter now. We moved through the industrial age into the knowledge age, and now we're moving into the wisdom age, and now we're moving into a new spiritual dimension, a new spiritual epoch that it's just, we're evolving into a whole like human 4.0, whatever it is, whatever that number is. We're evolving into a different level, an upgraded level of humanity, a spiritual, super spiritual version of humanity, where we recognize that we're not humans having a spiritual experience, we're spirit having a human experience, and we live as the spirit having a human experience, and we gamify life. We don't attack or defend in life. And this new version of human, whatever number, 4.0, 5.0, 6.0, it doesn't matter, whatever, this new version of human, this new version of being that's waking up every day, when they're ready, and when they start getting those internal cravings and those internal desires, they want a depth of meaning, and they want to feel something that they've never truly felt before. And this takes really going inward to explore what's in them that they haven't tapped into. And it's not just about tapping into something inside so that they can create something on the outside. It's just tapping into the depth and the deep-seated understanding of who we are, who each of us is, but who we are as a species, and getting an understanding of what's happening in our minds, in our bodies, and why we are the only species in the world that has not just consciousness, but awareness of who we are. A fish doesn't know it's a fish. A dog doesn't know it's a dog. A tree doesn't know it's a tree. An elephant doesn't know it's an elephant. But we know we are human. And that separates us in a lot of ways. And from that awareness, when we recognize that we have that awareness that not everyone does, not everything does, then we can understand what exactly is that awareness, where has it come from, and what am I doing with this awareness, the miracle of this awareness, to really level up, not just for my own sake, but for the sake of everyone. And how can I evolve and help others evolve as well? And I'm going to go over 5 things that I've recognized. And there's more. These are the only 5 I'm going to share in this podcast episode. But there's 5 things that these upgraded humans do differently than the average human that's still stuck, that still believes, that still exists as if the chase for goals and the chase for accumulation are all success is about. And the first is these upgraded humans, these upgraded beings, they choose inner authority over external approval. Now, I know a lot of folks that have a lot of success and are on massive stages and have massive audiences, and they thrive on being seen, and they thrive on external approval, external validation, external applause. If you look to Hollywood, if you look to show business, if you look to the entertainment world, a lot of those folks thrive on approval. They thrive on validation. And when the applause stops, essentially they feel like they've lost a part of themselves, because their identity, their personal authority, their personal power, who they believe they are, was deeply rooted in the approval, the applause, in the acceptance. And while they were successful worldly, and I'm air quoting, while they were worldly successful for a time period, when that success stops, so does their self-worth, so does their self-esteem, so does their fulfillment. And this new upgraded version of humanity, this spiritual warrior, is choosing inner authority over external approval, inner authority, inner purpose, inspiration, inner approval over external approval. Because if you approve of yourself, if you have powerful authority over yourself, if you believe in yourself, if you love yourself, then that external authority comes. First of all, it doesn't matter at all. It becomes meaningless. And when it becomes meaningless, that means it becomes easier to attain. But you don't need it as a form of correcting or rearranging anything that's happening inside of your mind and body. Number two is these people are choosing authenticity over image. They stop caring about how people see them. They stop caring about how they look. And I still know people that when they're in their day-to-day, they dress away a certain way, they talk a certain way, they act a certain way. And then when they're under the lights and they're on stage, then suddenly their costume comes on and they change who they are. And their brand, their identity shifts because of the location. And that's when you're choosing image over authenticity. Authenticity means just deciding who to be and being it. It doesn't matter if you go to church. It doesn't matter if you're operating in your business. It doesn't matter if you're at home. It doesn't matter if you're alone. It doesn't matter if you're on stage. Decide who to be and go be it. And this new upgraded form of humanity, these new upgraded spiritual warriors, they're choosing to figure out what suits them, what inspires them, what delights them, what makes them feel good, what makes them feel powerful. And they choose that all the time, whether somebody's looking or not. And the image that they have in the world becomes meaningless because they choose themselves over image. Next is integrity over optics. It's staying in alignment with your values. It's choosing your own values and staying in alignment with those, no matter if someone agrees with you or not. For years, I've wanted to teach some of this stuff. If you go back and you listen to probably the last 20, 25 episodes of the Inner Wealth Podcast, these episodes are probably the ones that I've been wanting to share, to record over the last couple years. But it's like there was a lack of courage and a growing courage to be able to remain in integrity, understand what I stand for, and be able to share that with the world. And there could be people that are stuck in the old world success paradigm that listen to the Inner Wealth Podcast and go, what the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this guy? What is this airy-fairy shit? This woo-woo shit? It's not realistic. It's not practical. It's all fucking mystical. And there was a time where I actually gave a shit what they thought of me, until I decided and I grew the balls to step fully into integrity and not worry about how I appeared to other people, how my words sounded to other people, the agreement that I had with other people. Integrity over optics. Next is, this is one that I had to make a radical shift. That I did. I didn't have to, but I did. I chose to make a radical shift, and it's service over selfishness. I remember back in 2016, 2017, when I had no income and I was trying to figure out what to do with the rest of my life. And I went back and tried to find a job. I went to 4 or 5 job interviews, came up runner up in almost all of them. And I'm like, I just need money. And I started reading all these entrepreneurial books, and I hadn't quite embarked on the entrepreneurial venture yet. And they started talking about, there's a great book called The Go-Giver. And I'm like, fuck that. I need some money. What am I going to, I'm not going to give something to anybody that they haven't paid for. And the journey over the last 8 years, 9 years, can you believe it's almost a decade? The journey over the last few years, the last decade-ish, has been of leading with the heart instead of leading with the bank account. Is serving instead of waiting for the investment. Is giving and being open to receive, but not making it a requirement to serve society, to make an impact, to give away knowledge and wisdom and insight, and to inspire others. And if you look, I'm working on a new workbook right now that I'm getting ready to launch over the next couple of weeks. I've got a new book coming out in the summer, Inner World, Outer World. That's coming out. These are either $0 items that I'm giving away or low dollar items that I'm giving away, chock full of nuggets and wisdom and insights and just mindsets and heart sets. On my website, I've got free courses. I've got free workbooks. I've got tons and tons of free stuff on my YouTube channel. This podcast is free. And I've started choosing service over selfishness, not the brand of healthy selfishness that I teach, to invite it into your life because you want it, but selfishness from a place of scarcity. And shifting from selfishness from a place of scarcity into service based on abundance. And guys, the last and probably the most fulfilling is choosing faith over fear. And if you look at most of the world, especially people stuck in the old paradigm of success, in the hustle, in the grind, in the constant building, in the constant more, in the constant striving for excess that you'll never ever touch, or you'll just stash just for the sake of stashing it instead of enjoying life. The difference is a lot of that old success paradigm came from insecurity, inadequacy, and insignificance. The fear of running out, or the fear of not having, or the fear of losing, trying to become someone and trying to prove something to the world. And if you listen to the old paradigm teachers that are always teaching the hustle, that are always teaching the grind, that are always teaching more, it's always about proving yourself. It's always about proving them wrong. It's always about becoming someone in the world. It's all about making sure you always have what you need. And it's never about just trusting that what you need is going to come to you. Trusting that life wants for you what you want for yourself. Trusting that you're so valuable that you'll never run out. Feeling so full of yourself, you don't need to prove anything to anyone else. Knowing that you're a miracle just because you're breathing. And from there, surrendering into the miracle that you are and choosing faith over fear. So those 5, again, inner authority over external approval, authenticity over image, integrity over optics, service over unhealthy selfishness, and faith over fear. That's the beginning of the shift from the old world success model into the new world success model. Now, when I look back at the body of work that I have over the last 8 or 9 years, I've been serving those people. I've been teaching those people. I just didn't know I was teaching a new, upgraded form of human being that's opening their eyes and opening their hearts to a whole different way of living and a whole new level of consciousness. And that's what this is. It's a whole new level of consciousness. It's upgrading the insides more than making it necessary just to upgrade the external world that we live in. Success in the new world is feeling successful inside regardless of what happens outside. Feeling the success in the new world is feeling wealthy inside regardless of how much money is in your bank account. Success in the new world is emotional mastery. Success in the new world is not letting circumstances determine your quality of life and how you are able to be silent and still inside and waking up in a place of peace instead of pressure. That is success in the new world. And guys, if that sounds good to you, then go to my Facebook page and follow me. You can email me at mike@innerwealthglobal.com. I'd love to have a conversation with you. You can go to my website and put in a form on this podcast. On the podcast at the top of the show notes, you can see something that says text me and I'll get a message. And I've gotten a couple of those and I just don't know what to do with them yet. I think I'm going to release special episodes answering some of those questions. But guys, if there's any way that I can serve you, if there's any way that I can help, if there's any way I can support you to shifting into the new world of success, and if you're already getting that internal yearning and you know something's missing, then you're ready. You are on the verge of the shift. And I'd love to support you through it. If you feel that internal yearning, you are a spiritual warrior. Welcome to a whole new way of being.